If you're able to read your opponent, and if you're able to play switch very good, you will be a super good defender. If you're a really good defender at putting pressure, you will get a lot of easy chances going forward. In this video, I will be showing you how to implement your player switching that you hopefully mastered now with this class and into pressure play, because if you're really good at play switching, you will of course be very good at play switching. Maybe you don't notice it, but I know for a fact that it's one of the most important things. So in this freeze frame and in this clip in the background, we see Sterling, who has a great chance of scoring. It's me playing, of course. Though I'm doing a wrong skill move here. The thing I'm doing here though is that I'm waiting for him to make the pass. I know for a fact that he's going to make the pass because I would say a small pressure play with one of the closest man there, as you see. But I'm switching to my center back here. Winning the ball very high up with my Lacroix here. Passing the ball into Mohamed Salah, who has a very good chance of scoring. And yeah, he actually does. And in my opinion, that's what player switching gets you. It gets you very easy goals. Very easy finesse there from Salah, who will score that 10 out of 10 as well. And yeah, it makes you get easier chances basically in attacking. And I think it gets your opponent much more uncomfortable as well while he is attacking, which is a good thing for you, because if he feels uncomfortable, he will not play as he usually does. So it would definitely help you out. So there will always be risks with pressuring high up the pitch, and one thing that I'm not trying to do is to push my center backs out of position. I like to be aggressive, but when I'm being aggressive, I'm basically 100 or 99% sure that I'm going to be taking the ball. As you see in this freeze frame, I'm taking the ball here in my own defensive third. He's pushing high up here with his center back. He is very high up. And that is causing Neymar and Lukaku to have so much space in behind. And as we know, Neymar and Lukaku, they are pretty quick strikers. So the thing I'm doing here is causing him to make a decision. And as you see, Lukaku is basically through here. I'm just putting an easy pass through here to Lukaku. And we are equal in this game, and that was because he pressed so high up the pitch with one of his center back, and you need to find a balance in between there as well, because you can't be too aggressive all the time. And that player switching, I think in my opinion, wasn't really that bad, but he was way too high up with his center back, and it cost me a lot of space in behind, and I actually managed to equalize in this game. So that was actually one of the few downsides to that, and that was basically because he was being way too aggressive, let's be honest. So yeah, don't be too aggressive. Try to think of what you're doing before you're really doing it, and try to see if it's a high risk. Because if it is a high risk, high reward, basically he maybe would have taken the ball here if he was about to tackle. He didn't. High risk, high reward. Unfortunately for him, he let a goal in because of that, and I scored. So yeah, you need to balance it. It's very important. Okay, so we covered reading your opponent and player switching, and now we're talking about pressure play. And in my opinion, both of these two go hand in hand. Because if you're able to read your opponent, and if you're able to play switch very good, you will be a super good defender. And as we talked about, if you're a really good defender at putting pressure, you will get a lot of easy chances going forward. So in this freeze frame, we see me going quite up with my center back here. I covered the run. I'm getting close to the player who has the ball. He's passing the ball away, and I make him rush into this decision. He could go for that through ball, but I think that would actually be offside because that player is way too high up here. Maybe he could have gone for it. He either goes for the striker or the winger. In this case, he did go for the striker. I intercepted. He unfortunately gets the ball back. I cover it once again, and he doesn't get a dangerous opportunity because of it. So the reading your opponent's style and switching makes you pressure play, and these two goes definitely hand in hand, and it's a very important tool to have in your FIFA. So as we see in this freeze frame in the background, it's super important to, if you want to be a good pressure player, you need to be very good at right stick switching. That's the only thing. And we talked about before with the just normal switching with the basics there. There is two options. There is the L1 or LB on Xbox, or the right stick. And if you want to be good at pressuring your opponent, you need to be good at right switching. For most part, I actually don't use the L1 too much when I'm pressing my opponent. It's more when I'm trying to be a bit more less aggressive, trying to cover passing lanes, etc. And as you see in this case, I'm going up, but I'm faking that I'm going to be aggressive on him. I'm play switching very good here, but I'm just covering the space in behind instead. So in that case, right stick switching, not being aggressive, faking him into making the pass. And I get the ball, starting my attack, and we go from there. So if we are recapping this, if you want to be a good pressure player, right stick switching, super important. Trying to time everything with your right stick switching, because you need to find yourself in different positions where you want to be aggressive and not to be aggressive and just cover passing lanes. And also, if you really want to master this and you don't really feel like you're on that level at the moment, watch top tier pros. It's very common, and I think it's very easy to see how they play a switch, especially when they want to put pressure on your opponent and when they want to fall back and not really try to put as much pressure. So find the right balance in between there. Watching top tier pros is definitely one thing to improve your switching, that's for sure. And then just try to play better players than yourself, because that will definitely help you in build up, but also trying to put a pressure on your opponent. Because it's way easier playing against different people, or actually it's way easier playing against the same people all the time and you know for a fact how they play. But it's very good to get to play different people as well, because then you will face different attackers, different defenders, etc. And you will have a bit of a harder time putting pressure, but that will definitely help you in the long-term run. So thank you so much for watching this video. It's a very important tool to have in your pocket, pressure play, and it will help you win a lot more games in FIFA.